Well, hi guys, this is Katie and welcome to another weekly vlog. So if you're new to this channel, my name is Katie. I am a Year 6 teacher and I work at an international school here in Bangkok, and I am loving it. So on this channel I like to share my weekly vlogs of teaching abroad, but I also share some teaching abroad expat tips and travel tips as well. So if that sounds like something you're interested in, then make sure you hit subscribe. So it is a Monday, and Monday is a pretty good day for me because it's pretty quiet. I only have 2 lessons that I have to teach, and today it is maths and I'm teaching fractions to percentages, which should be interesting because last week we looked at fractions of an amount. Children really, it threw them a lot. So I think I might recap that massively first for the first 20 minutes of the lesson and then move on to fractions to percentages. We have like a catch-up lesson later in the week, in the sense of we have a lesson that's not planned for all the teachers, just kind of catch up with anything that was missed. So I might kind of look at fractions and percentages again today and then just push everything else back. And then my other lesson is topic, but to be honest, they need, like, we are looking at, they're doing portraits in art, so I'm going to change my topic lesson to an art lesson so that they can finish off their portraits, because it needs to be done by the end of the week. Apart from that, I have 2 free periods this morning in which I'm going to be marking my science and my topic books, just because they need to be kind of checked and up to date. And then my other free lesson I have a meeting in, but I'm going to stop talking because the pollution in Bangkok is bad again. It's 173 in my primary school, which is really high. That's the highest I've ever seen it in my primary school. So we've just had an email to say make sure all the kids come in. It's 7 o'clock in the morning, so there's not actually that many kids here, but I think I have just seen one outside, so I might go call her in so she can be in here. So I'm going to stop talking to you because that's weird. She'll think I'm weird, but I'll see you in a bit. Oh, hi guys. So it is now 9:25. I actually had a staff meeting this morning instead. So I normally have my meeting but just before lunch, but instead we had it this morning because of like a timetabling thing. Someone had a meeting later on, so we ended up having our meeting this morning, which is fine because it was only like half an hour. And to be honest, I actually took about half an hour and just went, we have like a coffee shop at my school, so I went and got a coffee with one of my colleagues and we just spent half an hour just having a catch up. And I think it's really, like, I will say, one of the things we were talking about was how Ofsted in England has changed a lot, and I was talking to a friend of mine from back home on the weekend who was talking about like how they have like these deep dives in Ofsted in the UK now, and how that's stressful and how that impacts school life and like life in general as a teacher in England. And like we were just talking about how it's so nice that we have the freedom to be able to spend time to just catch up on things, like, and it's not just like those types of conversations, like obviously we catch up on school stuff as well, but it is nice to be able to take a step back sometimes. And even like we had, like, our meeting was quite a busy meeting, so sometimes it's like it is quite nice to then be able to discuss that one-to-one with somebody and like check, okay, is this what this meant, and then this is what we're doing for this. And because we have a residential trip coming up after half term, so I think kind of clarifying what we were doing for that was really nice. Anyway, oh, also, it's mental health week. I think I mentioned this before, but it's mental health week, so our school have like a little timetable of activities. So at break time today, I am offering mindful colouring to children. I'm not sure I'm going to offer it and have it in the room, but I will say the pollution is still bad, so whether that goes ahead, when the pollution is bad, all the children come in, and it's currently 189, which is ridiculous. Like I said, it's never been this high before. I say this, like in China it was off the charts, so I can't complain. But yeah, it's quite high today, so we will see if that. I don't reckon the children will have playtime as normal outside, so I'm not sure if we'll end up doing mindful colouring or not. I might just have children in when they have indoor play, just because I know what my kids are like. They really enjoy watching Netflix, like they enjoy watching films off Netflix and stuff. So I will put on, we've been watching Shrek if we've had like indoor play and stuff, so I will put on Shrek for them, because I know that there are some children that won't be able to entertain themselves in the room by themselves, like without guidance from me. So it means that I can put on Shrek and still get bits and bobs of stuff that I need to get done. It's a shame though if that does happen today, because it's Chinese New Year festival. Like obviously it's been Chinese New Year for the last 2 weeks. I think it was like last week actually, wasn't it? But our school have got like a Chinese New Year celebration lion dance going on in the quad, but if the pollution's bad then it will be cancelled, which is a shame. Hopefully they can do it another day, but we'll see. Yeah, I'm gonna get carried on with my marking now, and I shall see you in a bit. Hi guys, so I've just decided to put my glasses up because I can see stuff that I'm doing on the computer, which is about children, is reflecting into my glasses on the camera, and I was like, just in case there's anything on the screen that is confidential about a child, I'm just gonna put my glasses up. So yeah, hello. It is now, I don't know because I can't see. It's now 11:30. I've just had a maths lesson. It was a very productive maths lesson. We looked at fractions to percentages, and I think the children kind of got it, which is great. It's just going to be a case, I can tell with this with like fractions, percentages to decimals and all that type of stuff, it's just one of those things that they have to keep practicing until it's clicked into place of like, this is how you do it. And we did percentages of an amount last week, and it was the same for that as well. It was just like constant, like, let's practice in different concepts and let's put in a word and a word problem and stuff. Just need to practice. But it was quite a fun lesson because they were all at like different stages. Some were even doing next steps from last week, just because they need to kind of catch up with them. And yeah, it was just a bit of a hickledy-pickledy lesson, but it was productive, which is always good. But yes, it's now 11:30. Lunch is at 20 past 12, so I have just under an hour to get on with some more work. At lunchtime, I'm actually popping up to the dance studio to chat with our dance teacher because we are working together on the choreography for our Shrek show. So we just need to have a look at some like choreography for the next section of the Shrek show, and then yeah, that's kind of the plan, to be honest. And then after that I have art, and it's quite a nice lesson because the kids are just going to be getting on with their own art picture, and I'll be able to pull some children out for a few interventions if I need to. To be honest, I think I'm just going to let them all kind of get on with stuff, unless I'm going to look through their maths books now, and if there's any kind of like glaringly obvious, we need to look at this type thing, then I'll do that. But if not, should be okay. But yeah, that's kind of my day. And then after school I have choreography for the show, so should be good. Should be a nice, smooth, easy day. Good morning guys, it is a Tuesday morning, it is just past 7. I'm not going to be long this morning because I have a parents meeting in about 10 minutes. I just thought I'd kind of check in, say hello, good morning, it's just Tuesday. I have a somewhat productive, busy-ish day today. We're looking at percentages to decimals to fractions in maths. Then I have a literacy lesson where we're doing a conscious alley drama activity that's linked to Macbeth. Then I have a free period. Then we're going to read some more of Macbeth, the story, and we have a PSHCE lesson where we're going to be looking at some of the well-being stuff for the mental health week, which is this week. And then I have another free period, and then I have a CPD meeting after school. So I'm going to crack on with my work. See you in a bit. Hi guys, so it is now 10:30. I have just had 2 lessons in the morning, maths and literacy, both quite full on. The literacy lesson was great, I will say. So we are looking at Macbeth. They've started learning the story, like reading the story of Macbeth. We haven't read the original text. We've been reading like a child's condensed version of it that is read in normal English and not Old English. But they started reading it, and we've got to the point where Macbeth had to decide if he was going to kill the king or not. And then we created a conscious alley, so we were doing a little drama, a little role play, and we had different children being Macbeth walking through this conscious alley. So one group were yelling reasons why he should kill the king, and the other group were yelling reasons why he shouldn't kill the king. And then at the end, by the time the Macbeth had got to the end, they had to decide if they were going to kill the king or not. Then we read the next section where he does kill the king, and then we did the conscious alley again, but one half was like praising him for what he did, the other half was like condemning him and saying, why on earth would you do this? And it's really interesting, like the kids got really into it, and then because of that, I gave them some time to think about, well, how must Macbeth be feeling now? And we did some hot seating, and they did so well. And I changed Macbeth quite a few times in our hot seating, so anyone that wants to have a turn to be hot seated could be hot seated. So if you don't know what hot seating is, basically I have a chair at the front of the classroom, and one person becomes the character, sits in the hot seat, and everyone asks them questions about, you know, why would you have killed the king? And the person has to answer as Macbeth, and share the thoughts and stuff like that. And it's really interesting because not only do you get some really, like, do the kids really understand the character, but you get some really interesting questions, and they start to think, oh, but what might happen next, and what's going to happen if this happens, like, what will you do now? So it's a really interesting way of getting inside a character's head. But yeah, I was really impressed. I've done hot seating before. I've tried to do hot seating a lot in my old school, and the children, I think because they weren't as confident perhaps with drama, but yeah, it worked really, really well. They seemed really happy with it, and yeah, I think it was a really, really productive, good lesson, so that was great. Maths, we were doing percentages, the decimals, the fractions, and do you know what? It actually wasn't as painful as I thought it would be. And it sounds ridiculous. Yesterday we were doing fractions to percentages, and it was really hard because the children just took some time to figure it out. But today we recapped it, and it was like it just clicked for a lot of them. And then we looked at it. We were looking at them doing it as a decimal, and they just got it, which is fantastic. So I'm happy about that. But yes, we've also just had playtime, but it was inside playtime because the pollution is over 150. So it was indoor play, and to be honest, when it's indoor play, I often just put on Netflix. The kids love watching Netflix, and their school production at the moment is Shrek, so I just put on Shrek on Netflix, and they just watch that. Anyway, I've got a free period now. I've got a load of topic books here. To be honest, they don't need to particularly be deep marked at all because I have marked some of their kind of big writing elements in it. But to be honest, because a lot of the work that we do is like produced in the sense of like we do like a big, at the moment they're doing like a big timeline, and then last term they were doing a big piece of writing. It's not anything that you have to particularly like, there's not loads of stuff in the book. So there's probably like 2 or 3 pieces of work per topic, so it's not too stressful. So I'm just going to quickly just catch up and make sure they're all marked. I don't think they're going to be looked at this week anyway. I think I mentioned that there's a book look on Thursday for literacy and maths. I don't think they're going to look at topic books, but I kind of figured as everything else is up to date, I need to just kind of have a flick through my topic books just in case. But yeah, so I'm going to do that, and I shall see you in a bit. Hi guys, I'm just going to quickly film whilst eating my lunch. It's 1:30. It's been one of those days. I feel like, ow, that hurt. Ow. I feel like it was one of those days that has just been a bit manic. Tuesdays is meant to be like my cool, calming, relaxing day. It is not. I had a register. Hang on, one moment. Let me just do my register. Right, sorry. Yes, it is now 1:30. I had my reading lesson, and we were looking at Macbeth, and then they started playing around with the scenes. So they had a chance to, we read the whole of the story, and then we cut it up into scenes, and then they're going to act out the scenes later on today. But that was my reading lesson. And then I had lunch, and I had every best intention of actually stopping. But I didn't. So I was halfway through marking my topic books. So I finished off marking my topic books. And then I was like, oh, it's fine. I have a dance rehearsal. But then I remembered that actually I don't. I had a maths springboard session, so like a maths revision session for children that need just an extra little boost. And then I did that. And then it was the end of lunchtime, and I hadn't even had my lunch yet. So then I ran and put my food in the microwave. And then I had to speak to a child who was upset about something else. Then I had to go follow up with my my colleagues about something, and it's now 1:30, and my food is luckily still warm. So I'm going to eat my food, and I probably should do some work at the same time, but I'm not going to. I'm going to watch a bit of YouTube whilst I eat this. I'm going to give myself 10 minutes just to stop and eat and relax. And I've also got a yogurt with me as well, so that's always good. I'm going to have that, and then I'm going to do some work, I guess. Just do some work. But yeah, the children are all in languages. Sorry, so I don't have a lesson. The children aren't here, funny enough. They're all in languages. So I have a free lesson. I'm gonna eat this, and then I'm actually gonna look at some planning for after half term. After half term, we have a trip, which is like a residential trip. But after that, I am planning science. I have no clue about planning science. I hate planning science. Science is not my topic. So I'm just cleaning whilst talking to you. Yeah, science is not really my topic. I'm just not that comfortable or confident with science teaching. It's one of those things that just a bit, I wasn't very good at science when I was a child, so I need to like get better at it. So I'm going to give myself plenty of time to plan and prepare that. So yeah, I think that's what I might do this afternoon. So I'm going to stop talking and let's just see you in a bit. Good morning, guys. So it is 7 o'clock in the morning. It is Wednesday. Just got into school, loading up the computer. Happy to be at school and actually still being here. Pollution is still awful, but it has gone down. It is now. I'm just loading my computer because this thing on here tells me what it is. Yeah, in the primary school it's only 95, so which is great. I think it's quite high, like where we live. It's on a main road, so it's still quite high there, so kind of feeling it a little bit today, but I'm just going to take it easy. We've been told that if we have like coughs and colds and all that stuff, to make sure we go to the nurse if our temperature gets higher and stuff like that, so I'm just going to keep an eye on it, but it'll be fine. Anyway, it is a Wednesday. It is my busiest day. I'm mentally just trying to prepare myself for it. I have... what have I got today? Right, yes, so I have literacy. The children are going to be starting their storyboards for Macbeth. So we're going to just kind of recap the order in which the events happen. Yesterday I gave them some time to recreate the scenes. So we're going to run through that today as like a little drama starter activity. So we'll run through the whole play today as like in scenes. And then they're going to, over the next few days, they're going to plan a comic book storyboard of Macbeth. So they're going to plan it and then create it. So that's what they're doing today, is they're going to start planning it. Then we have SPAG. To be honest, the literacy tends to go into SPAG. I will probably use quite a lot of the SPAG lesson to carry on with the planning, just because the drama thing's going to take a while. That was like an extra thing that wasn't part of the plan, but my kids love drama, so I knew that including it would be great. Then we have math skills. I need to give them a end of unit test, because we do end of unit tests, but we always do them a few weeks after they've done the unit to see how much they remember. So they have that from a unit they did like a few weeks ago. Then I have maths as a lesson, and we are doing ordering fractions, decimals and percentages. And then I have science, which is, it starts for an hour before lunch, then I have lunch, and then it carries on for another half an hour after lunch. And it's quite hectic, it's quite busy, I always moan about it, but I do have that today. So yeah, we'll see. I'm not quite sure. I haven't really looked at the plans. I'm going to look at that now and see what the hell we're doing for it. We've been looking at evolution. It's been quite full on. But yes, that's my plan. And then the children have singing, so I have a bit of free time. I don't have anything planned after school, so I'm just going to use that time to make sure my books are all in order, ready for book look tomorrow. And yeah, that's my plan for the day. So I shall have my breakfast and see you in a bit. Well, hi guys, it is now 12:30, so it's lunchtime here. I had a very busy, productive morning this morning. Children did their comic books, which are great. Can't wait to see what they look like at the end. I will make sure I try and film them at the end of the week. Then we did a SPAG lesson, a math skills lesson where they did an end of unit assessment. Then we did a math lesson, which was very, very busy, as it always seems to be. Then we did science, and when they come back in, they need to finish off their science work. And there's like a little word search, fun little activity if they have time to do. I am going to have my lunch, but whilst I'm having my lunch, I am marking literacy books, because there is some people who only just finished off their biographies this week, so I need to finish off marking those and just check that everything's up to date, ready for the book look tomorrow. It shouldn't be too long, I'm hoping not. There are some children who I've given next steps to ages ago, given the books back to them to do the next steps, presume they've done them because I'm a naive teacher, and then gone back and gone, you have not done this next step from the 24th of August. So I've had to kind of moan at a few children. So my aim is just to kind of blast through them quickly this afternoon, make sure everything's I'm on top of everything. And then if there is any children that have anything like that, I can pull them over and be like, do it now. That's my aim. See you in a bit.
1, 2, 3.
Oh hi guys, this is me very quickly and very hot and sweaty saying hello. It is Thursday, it's like 1:20, didn't check in today, sorry guys. Came in this morning, had loads to do, had a staff meeting, had bits and bobs, like just people I needed to talk to this morning. So did not vlog this morning at all. Then I had break, and because it's mindful week, I've been doing mindful colouring in my room every break time. Then I've had a full day of lessons. Then at lunchtime I headed straight up to the dance studio. Me and the dance teacher are choreographing for Shrek, so I had a rehearsal for that. I think she recorded it actually, so I will try and put a little clip of us doing our choreography session in. But yeah, it's now 1:20. I actually have a year 6 meeting now, so I just thought I'd check in. I need to register my kids. My kids are so cute, bless them. So I was late for registration because I'm an awful teacher. I was in this rehearsal, and then we had parents. A long saga happened, and I had to deal with some parents. So now I was like 3 minutes late, and my kids know to register with me, and then they go straight to languages, and they were like, oh, Miss Katie's not there, and they knew not to wait in my classroom because we talk a lot about waiting in classrooms and there's not a teacher there. Now there's kids outside like, why is she talking to herself? So yeah, we talk a lot about that. So I'm just kind of closing everything on my computer before I go to this meeting. We talk a lot about that, and so that's what we did. And then what was I going to say? Yeah, so sorry, my point was they ended up leaving me a little note on my door, on my like whiteboard that was like, dear Miss Katie, we've gone to languages, bye. Like, so cute. But yeah, I'm gonna stop talking, I need to go to this meeting, see you in a bit. Hi guys, sorry about that earlier. I don't know, one of those days. It has been very, very busy. I feel like I haven't stopped, but sorry, just now I'm at that stage now where I haven't stopped all day, and now I feel like I need to be doing something all the time. I've got that bit of my, did anyone else do that? I'm just waffling, aren't I? Anyway, it is 10 to 2. My meeting was very, very quick. We have a residential trip the week after half term. The Monday that we get back, it is on that Monday, we go straight on our residential trip. So we were just kind of recapping bits and bobs that we need to know for it. So that should be interesting, exciting. But yeah, that was what we just kind of spent the last half an hour talking about. But yeah, I had a really nice day today. We did some, I don't remember the day. Literacy, they've been doing their comic strips. I will show you them in a minute, but they've been doing their comic strips, and then they did some portraits in art, so it's been a very drawy day, I must say, and they have loved it, which is great. I think especially like it's been a short term, it's only a 5-week term this, but I feel like it feels quite long. But yes, yeah, so they were doing their comic strips in literacy, and then in art they were doing their portraits, and then in maths we were kind of like catching up with bits and bobs that they weren't quite sure about, so fractions and decimals and percentages and word problems for that. And then we had an ICT lesson. We did a little bit of reading. We had an ICT lesson, and I'm awful with ICT. It's one of those lessons where, because it's only like 25 minutes, it's often one of those things of like, right, you're typing this up because you need to like get this done. And I do always feel really bad that we don't always have a proper ICT lesson. I hold my hands up to that. It's one of those lessons that does often get used for something else. Or if we have like a year group event, it's always in those lessons. So anyway, last week we did coding and the kids loved it, and then this week, a few months ago, long story short, a few months ago I did an Apple course. Like Apple came to Bangkok, to one of the schools in Bangkok, and we all went and did CPD there on how to use the iPads productively with classes. And I learned how to do some like Sketcher school stuff. So I taught the children how to do some Sketch, because they've been loving art so much. So for ICT, I taught them how to do some Sketcher school stuff and do like graphic design on there, which they loved, which was great. Then it was lunchtime, have my rehearsal, have my meeting. It's now 7 minutes to 2. So yes, busy old day. I don't know what I'm going to do now. I've got a few bits and bobs that I need to do on the computer. I haven't really thought about, we have a week off next week, great. But then the week afterwards, we're on our residential trip. And the week after that, we go back to like normal lessons. And normally I would have planned by this point what I'm doing by like the following week. But because I have 2 weeks in between now and then, I just haven't really thought about it. So I do need to kind of think about, I'm planning science next term, which I won't. So I need to kind of think about that. So I was meant to have done it yesterday and I just put it off. So I'm going to do that now, I think. I haven't actually had lunch yet, so I'm going to have my lunch first and then I might do that. But yeah, I feel like it's just one of those days. Friday, I'm looking forward to Friday. I'll be in early tomorrow because my kids are dancing at the assembly. We've got an assembly. The children were meant to be doing, have I said this yet? The children were meant to be doing a competition on Sunday, this big international, like all the international schools and private dance schools come together and do this big competition. But because of the coronavirus, all the international schools have agreed that they're not going to be doing like cross-curricular events and competitions and stuff like that, which means that we have had to like not do the competition, which I completely understand because, you know, it's one of those things, it has to be done. But because they didn't get a chance to perform, they're going to do their performance in the assembly tomorrow. So coming in early to do rehearsal, then they have their assembly, and then yeah, it's not too busy after that, so that's always good. Anyway, I'm going to stop talking, going to go have my lunch. I shall see you in a bit. Well, hi guys, so it's Friday. Woo, woo, woo. You see I'm excited. It massively helps that it's Friday before half term. I will say I am tired today. Yeah, so it's Friday and I actually won't be long because I have the dancers are dancing in assembly this morning. I think I mentioned this yesterday, did I? The dancers are performing in an assembly this morning because we have 3 dance squads, 2 solos, that are dancing because they were meant to be performing in a competition on Sunday, and that competition is still going, but we're not going as a school because all the international schools are pulling out of big events where lots of children are together just as a precaution for the coronavirus. But yeah, so we're not doing that, so it's a nice opportunity for them to still perform. So they're doing that this morning instead. So I'm going to run up to the dance studio in 2 minutes and help them get ready for today. But yeah, should be good. And then, what else am I doing? What else am I doing today? I don't know. Oh, it's a Friday. Friday, I think I'll give you a quick tour of my classroom because some of it's quite clean now and some of it isn't. But I just want to show you some of their work that I've been talking about this week. So I'll do that now. Okay, so when I've been talking about the children's timelines, this is what I'm referring to. They made these timelines about the people that they were writing about. We have a few different kind of ones here. But we have a few children that did it on the computer, on the iPad as well. But yeah, they look quite nice. We're going to put these up on display. I'm going to give you a whistle-stop tour of my classroom on a Friday. This is actually quite clean. We have class jobs, and it turns out the person whose job it is to keep this tidy did a good job this week. These are the start of their Macbeth storyboards. They haven't obviously finished them all. There's some children that are a bit further than others. But yeah, generally they are doing Macbeth storyboards, like comic strips. They seem to be really enjoying it, which is great. And they're also really enjoying learning more Shakespeare, which is great. Guys, this is my super organised book corner. So just realised there's a book left in there, unhelpful. There's like some highlighters in here, a library book in here. Oh, and there's spelling work underneath. Excellent. So I actually need to mark this today. But yeah, so it's not actually that neat and tidy. The person whose job is to keep this tidy is not doing a good job this week. And lastly, this is some of their artwork. I don't know how to show you this elegantly. So basically, they chose a character, like someone to write about their biography, and they're doing biography portraits for them. So this is meant to be Cristiano Ronaldo. This is the start of J.R.R. Tolkien. That's very similar, actually. That's pretty good. Good job. This is meant to be Nelson Mandela. This is meant to be Gandhi. This is, who is she? I can't remember. I think she's like a famous gymnast. Someone that hurt herself and then became a famous gymnast. I really like this Tom Cruise one. That's upside down. This is Tom Cruise. I feel like he'd be really flattered with this photo. Bless. But yes, they have these portraits of their famous people. That's just a few of them. Put them back. But they need to finish off today. That is the plan today. Oh, and this is my organised side area. Well, this is somewhat organised. So this is like assessments that they've done, letters that need to go home, stuff like that. And then this is normally I put all the resources for the week in. So like I've got the science overview and then a ruler and a pen for some reason. But generally speaking, I'll have like resources for the week in here. But obviously next week is a half term, then it's residential, so I don't have anything in here. But here is, I did talk about this during the week about doing mindful colouring. These are the sheets I've used for mindful colouring. They've been quite good. So that is my little tour of the classroom. I've got quite a bit of a mismatch day in the sense of this morning there is an assembly, but it's not until 8:20. But I'm going to help with the assembly, so I'm going to send my kids off to other classes and they can finish off their portraits. And then I have a free period, so I am actually going to use that time to clear out my drawers. I feel like my drawers are really messy. I know that I've confiscated stuff from kids and it's put in there and stuff like that, and I'm just like, oh, I'm sure there's probably sweet wrappers in there, and I just feel like leaving sweet wrappers in a drawer over half term is probably a bit gross. So I'm going to tidy up my drawers today, and then just make sure all the science stuff is planned for after the holidays. I still haven't started it. I know I keep talking about doing it, but still haven't started it. So I need to do that. And then I have break, and then I have I have a reading and spelling lesson. So we're going to read a bit of The Boy. We don't have any spellings this week. We're not going to give them any spellings. So I'll do a spelling test with them, and then we'll read more of the book The Boy. And then we have literacy, and they are finishing off their Macbeth comic strips. Then we have lunch. Then we have CFT. So I'm going to try and get them to finish off any timelines or portrait artwork stuff that they need to do. And then it's the end. And then we have CFT is like their golden time, as it were. So they're gonna have I'm not sure what we're gonna do for golden time today. To be honest, they quite like just being able to do what they want. So maybe we'll just do that. I get some paint out. Maybe we can do some painting. We'll see. But yeah, that's my plan. I'm gonna stop talking. I need to quickly check my emails and then get up to the dance studio. So I shall see you in a bit. Hi guys. So it's now 9:15. I had such a rush. I'm gonna just get my stuff ready whilst I'm talking. And I had such a rushed morning this morning. So I went up to the dance studio and we had three dance squads and 2 solos performing this morning in assembly, and we kind of had to get them practice on the stage downstairs. They hadn't done on the stage yet because it's like a removable stage that comes and goes. So yeah, they did it on the stage this morning, and then we had assembly, and it was just really manic, but it was great. Kids loved it. The children watching it in the assembly seemed to love it, which is great. It had lots of really nice comments from parents and teachers, so that was lovely. But yeah, that was this morning. Came back and the kids have just gone to they went to languages about 20 minutes ago, but I've just needed 20 minutes to what's this word? Rejuvenate? That's not the word, is it? No. Hi guys, so it's now Friday lunchtime. I've just done my break duty. I'm so near the camera because I do my break duty and the children have had their lunch and they're all outside playing, so they can see from my window if they can see me, but I'm hiding behind my laptop, my computer screen. Anyway, Friday lunchtime, really productive afternoon, day so far. They've got lots of stuff done. We only have an hour left of the day, and they're just going to be finishing off bits and bobs, and then I'm going to put on Macbeth because they really enjoy learning Macbeth, so I'm going to put on the cartoon version of that so they can watch the animated tale of it. So that should be good. Easy day for Fridays. See you in a bit. Okay, so I'm actually just about to have my lunch, but I wanted to quickly show you these what I'm remembering. So these are some of their Macbeth storylines. So we looked at the story of Macbeth, and the children kind of storyboarded and made a comic strip of some of the key like parts of it. So we have some small ones, like I gave them these like these already cut out, like these were already boxed up, but some children want to do like bigger versions and do the boxes themselves to have as many sections as they wanted. So we have a few different kind of ones here, a few kind of more abstract ones, and then a few that have kind of gone with more of a cartoony route. But yeah, I think they're really cute. I'm gonna actually put these up on display. I think they're really nice. They're really nice little kind of projects. So I'm going to, over here, this board over here is currently plain because my old board was a World War II board, and I took it down, but we only had 5 weeks for biographies, and I wanted to put the children's work up, but they've only just finished their biographies. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut it in half and have half literacy, half maths, and then just put up examples of really good work throughout the year, because I think that might be a better way of doing it, and like make it more of a working wall as well. But yeah, that's my plan. Well, hi guys, so it is now Friday, it is 2:30, I've just said goodbye to all the children, it's the half term, woo-hoo! So excited by this. So, sorry, I realised it's really dark in the room. For the last hour of the day, the children caught up on some bits and bobs of work, and then for CFT time, they can either play outside or they like this TV programme on Netflix called Investigators. It's like an Australian thing where these teenagers try and investigate mysteries or something, but the kids seem to love it, so I put on that, and I always turn the lights off when they watch Netflix and stuff, and the lights just haven't been turned back on again. But yes, it is Friday. Thanks so much for watching this weekly vlog. Let me know in the comments below what you think of me doing these like Monday to Friday teaching vlogs, because I feel like they're a little bit more focused on just teaching, which I think might be better, because I feel like sometimes if I'm then talking to you about living in Bangkok and stuff like that as well, it can be a little bit like random and unrelatable, because I don't know, I feel like it's just a bit strange. But yeah, so let me know what you think about this kind of like new format for my weekly vlogs, because I don't know, I kind of enjoy it a little bit more. I feel like it takes the pressure off of me a little bit to like film at home, because I feel like my life at home is probably a little bit boring. Like there's only so many times I can film me going to 7-Eleven and me doing blog work on the weekend. But yeah, so let me know what you think in the comments below. Thank you so much for watching all of this video. If you're at this point, well done you. Thank you so much again. Have a wonderful, wonderful day. If you like this video and you're looking for more teaching abroad videos, make sure you hit subscribe, and I shall see you very, very soon. Take care guys. Bye.